Here we go. Oh, there it is.
Hey, welcome back, Eagles. Mr. Dan here with the counseling team in the remote learning counseling office. We have Miss Nia up there waving, Miss Jackie, Miss Sarah.
Hi.
And we've been having weekly conversations about important topics like managing big emotions, including how to calm down, looking at how to feel gratitude, because that feeling of gratitude creates great thoughts and motivates us to behave in really great ways of being generous, and finding good ways to stay busy during the quarantine, responsibility, and I think remember the Jeopardy game of positive self-talk. So we're back this week with a really big word. It's a 12-letter word. It's perseverance. It means not giving up. It means making an effort to do something that seems important to you and to keep doing it till the end, even if it's hard to do it. It's like sticking to a plan. Like if you make a plan to follow Mr. Reynolds' 20-minute exercise routine every day, then if you persevere, if you demonstrate perseverance, you do it every day, and it becomes really healthy for you. When challenges come up, you just say, well, this is important to me. I'm going to keep doing this. So we have some good stories of perseverance for you today. I think we're starting with Miss Sarah.
Okay, so I wanted to share with you a story about somebody that has really inspires me. And her name is Malala Yousafzai, and she was born in 1997. So she's now about 22, but she became one of the most famous schoolgirls in the world. And I'm going to tell you her story. So she, as a young girl, when she was 11, she was a Pakistani student. She lived in Pakistan, and she wrote an anonymous diary about what life was like under the rule of an extreme group called the Taliban in northwest Pakistan. So in the diary, she talks about how she wanted to stay in education and about how girls should be able to go to school. The Taliban wanted to ban girls' education. And lots of people read the diary all over the world, and she became well known for fighting for her right to an education. But the Taliban didn't like this. And because of what she said in her diary, in October 2012, she was shot by their soldiers, but she survived the attack. And the world was appalled by what happened to her, and Malala quickly won the support of millions of more people around the world. So at 17, she became the youngest person to win a prize called the Nobel Peace Prize. And when she received it, oh, you'll see, she joked that she was probably the first winner who still fought with her younger brothers. So she's gone on to win more and more awards, and she continues now to campaign for girls' rights all over the world, that girls can get an education, and that she inspires many more people every day. So I wanted to just show you a quick video. This is actually from her speech. So when you win the Nobel Peace Prize, you have to do a speech about your work. And this is her. She's talking about who she is, who people think she is, but who she is and what she believes in and what she wants in the world. Make sure I share the sound with you all so you can hear.
I have found that people describe me in many different ways. Some people call me the girl who was shot by the Taliban, and some the girl who fought for her rights. Some people call me a Nobel laureate now. However, my brothers still call me that annoying bossy sister. As far as I know, I'm just a committed and even stubborn person who wants to see every child getting quality education, who wants to see women having equal rights, and who wants peace in every corner of the world.
Yeah, so that's our first story, and Miss Nia is going to tell you about another one.
Thank you, Miss Sarah. I'm also very inspired by Malala. I am going to talk to you about two young girls who live in the island of Bali, which is an island in the country of Indonesia, and Indonesia is in Southeast Asia. So the story of these girls is that when they were just, I think, like 10 and 12 years old, they had a lesson in class at school about change makers like Nelson Mandela and Martin Luther King Jr. And they thought, what can we do here in our own country to create change? And so they looked around. Bali is a beautiful island with lots of beaches, and they saw a lot of plastic and garbage in their beaches and in their ocean. And it turns out at the time that Bali was the world's second biggest polluter of marine plastic, so plastic in the ocean, following China. So that's a huge problem. And they knew that other countries had taken steps to ban plastic, and so they thought it was possible in Bali as well. So again, they started this idea in 2013 when they were 10 and 12, and they came up with an organization called Bye Bye Plastic Bags. And through their determination and their hard work and not giving up, they eventually succeeded in this goal, but it took a long time. In 2019, so just last year, Bali finally took steps to ban single-use plastic bags. Just like in Seattle, when you go to the grocery store, you can't use plastic bags. So it's similar to that. And I was just so inspired by how big their dreams were at such a young age. And they also didn't do it alone. They needed to start a petition and gather lots of signatures. And so they really came together as a community in Bali to make this happen. So Sarah has a video lined up about these two girls and their story. And sorry, I don't think I said their names. Melati and Isabel Wiesen, and I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing their last names correctly, but Melati and Isabel.
You've heard that saying, right? What we stand on is what we stand for. For us and many other people around Bali, garbage was one of the biggest points that stood out. And we were like, we have to do something. Bye Bye Plastic Bags was created from an idea that we had at home on the couch. Really nothing more than just a brainstorm after being inspired from one lesson. We were walking, plastic would be on the roads. You know, if we were swimming, surfing, plastic would be swimming around us in the ocean. And after doing a lot of research, we already learned that many other countries have said no to plastic bags. So for a realistic target for us kids, we thought, hey, if they can do it, we can do it too. So we're here in our pilot village right now, and we usually come every Saturday or so to hand out alternative bags to the local shops. Apa kabar? The change is happening slowly. People want to protect that hidden paradise. They want to protect the island of gods. I really hope that we open people's minds more. You know, we are the living proof that kids can be the change. So one of the first lessons that we learned is that you can't do it by yourself. And I think it's so important because then you can tackle it from so many different angles, and everybody in the team has different passions, which has helped us reach a whole new community of people. The people that, you know, are brave enough or that dare to explore are the ones that contribute something better into the world. So explore, go out there and explore all that the world has to offer. It's not like you have to change who you are, it's just changing the way you go through life.
Yeah, so that is Melati and Isabel Wiesen, and I'm going to pass it over to Jackie.
I love these. I love hearing children do what they do best.
Oh, sorry.
I love that they are able to dare to explore. I think I'm going to write that probably where I work to remind myself to have the same energy. And thank you, Ms. Sarah and Ms. Mia, for giving us such great examples to look forward to. And I really like the pieces about the community and not doing it alone. I think from Malala, the words I heard a lot were sometimes these words that may sound like it's not a good thing to hear, but it can be, like stubborn and determined. From Ms. Mia's examples, I heard support, as well as Malala, support and community, not feeling like you have to do it alone, having the passion to find people with different passions together, I think is great. I also want to say that this is a practice, just like all the other skills of responsibility and managing large emotions. So we wanted to give you an opportunity and a chance to really think about, how do I do this on a day-to-day? Because like both the examples, they didn't take one day, they didn't take 1 week, it took years sometimes. But on a daily practice, something we want to talk about, which some of you may have seen or heard before in your classrooms or with your teachers, is something called a growth mindset, right? And so sometimes we want to change the way we think about what we hear. Just like the game we did a few weeks ago, sometimes we see this word a lot. I wrote it top down. It's N-O, it can spell no. I can write it this way too. But one way to rethink the word no when it comes to challenges, learning, keeping a schedule at home, keeping your community safe during this pandemic COVID-19 time, is to rethink the word no to being this longer word that I'm finishing up right now. It's called next opportunity. For topics such as keeping your schedule, learning, trying a project, trying a quick writing sample, no can be a thought that you change to next opportunity. There's a word that I am still, as an adult, really scared of looking at. And it's a word that I think in schools sometimes scares us just by looking at it. That word is spelled F-A-I-L, fail, right? Sometimes even when we try challenges on social media, we say fail. Well, in the growth mindset and in perseverance, we rethink or try to think of a more positive way of failing by naming it into something different. And with failure, I've learned to try to think failing as first attempt in learning. Or maybe it's not your first, maybe it's your fourth, maybe it's your 14th, maybe it's 400, maybe it's 4,000. So this number can change, and that can be a math challenge for you to think of all the different numbers that start with F, right? 400 attempt in learning. We want to start training our brains to really think about different ways of being in the growth mindset. And this one, there are other ones that I've learned to say to myself as well, this one while I write it, is mistakes. Oh, you made a mistake. Oops. Oh no, another mistake. But what I love is when I hear mistakes mean that you're persevering, you're determined to learn. Mistakes means that you are learning. Another one that I love to say to myself is no one and nothing is perfect. There's only practice. And I think nothing is perfect. All right, so this is the one that I want to show you. This word is Y-E-T. It spells yet. All right, and this is the power of yet. It could be I don't get it yet. I don't know it yet. I haven't gotten it down yet. And I'm gonna take a moment and try to rework this. I've never done this before, so this is why Miss Jackie's pausing. I'm gonna practice that positive self-talk. And thank you for pausing. I know Mr. Dan, Miss Nia. and Miss Sarah are just anxiously awaiting. What is Miss Jackie writing on this board? I'm gonna rethink the word and add to it. You'll eventually get there. The power of yet. You'll eventually get there. So we hope that these are some things that you can practice every single day. The power of yet, rethinking the word fail, rethinking the word no, knowing that impossible has the phrase I'm possible in the word, and that mistakes means that you're learning. And just so you know, this team has your back when it comes to being determined, stubborn, and change making. And my favorite new thing of the day, daring to explore, right? So please check out our website this week. Miss Sarah has a wonderful activity and stories for all grade levels, kindergarten, first grade, all the way up to 5th. So please go and check us out, and we will think of more things to share with you. We hope you come back, and I know we all are anxiously awaiting to see you all. So we're just gonna say bye-bye for now.
Bye, Northgate.